So it wasn't too long ago I reviewed Breaking Bad Season 1, and that one I admit was a little too short almost. I feel like it was like basically 4 minutes, but there wasn't that much to get into depth about. It was just sort of the trials of Walt and teaming up with Jesse, them cooking meth a lot, and dealing with those drug dealers that they had to kill for like the first 5 episodes, and then the last 2 episodes. There was like 7, but this one 13 episodes, so there's a lot more happening, a lot more to talk about, so here we go, Season 2. So Season 1 ended with Walt and Jesse teaming up with Tuco, who is one of his partners, says nothing to him basically, and he beats him to death with his bare hands. And so Walt and Jesse are like, we need to get ready, because he's probably going to kill us, and they're trying to get prepared, get guns and stuff. They're really worried. Too late, Tuco ends up kidnapping them. So Hank's trying to find them. Meanwhile, Walt and Jesse are out like near the Mexico border with Tuco. I don't remember the character's name, but the guy in the wheelchair with the bell. I hate that character with a passion. He is dislikable in a good way. He's like a good side villain, I guess. Oh God, though, he's annoying. It's just the bell, and he's just sitting there looking at him. That's my best impression, and yeah, he basically looked like that, I guess. Move on. Tuco's going to have Walt and Jesse keep cooking the beautiful blue meth for him, but they're going to do it in like a lab in Mexico, and they're never going to get out. They're going to be slave meth cookers. But they don't want to do that. Walt actually has a poison that he's going to try to kill Tuco with. Things go bad. The wheelchair guy kind of tries to warn Tuco. Tuco's going to kill them. But thankfully, Hank is able to stumble across them, ends up shooting Tuco dead. Walt and Jesse slip away before Hank knows they're there. And Walt concocts a plan where he gets naked in a supermarket. He's in a fugue state. He can't remember what happened. He just wandered off. And so he has to kind of lie about all that. Skylar is just not really buying it. She's like, what? Fugue state? This makes no sense. She's suspicious. She's finding out about Walt's second cell phone for cooking meth. She's trying to figure out if he actually has one. And he's just lying. He's lying about how he's paying for his cancer treatments with the meth money. He's lying about this fugue state. And meanwhile, Jesse's getting questioned by Hank, trying to figure out what Jesse had to do with it, because his car was there, so he thinks Jesse's guilty, but Jesse's sort of able to get away out of it. After the shootout with Tuco, Hank, over at the DEA, he's like the big dog. They want to send him over to Mexico, El Paso, Texas, or whatever. But things go bad. A lot of people get killed that way. And Hank starts falling apart too. He's just really nervous about everything. He just deals with a lot of stress now, panic attacks. While Jesse's trying to find a new house because he gets kicked out of his actual house by his parents. And so after a truly depressing episode where Jesse's just trying to find a house, he can't stay with his friends. He tries to break into his RV and he falls in a toilet and he's covered in shit and he's just sleeping with one of the gas masks on, crying. That was like, wow. Jesse's actually pretty tragic. You just feel sorry because he gets crapped on the whole show. Everything always gets worse for him. But then you think, oh, things might be getting better. He's living at this new apartment. He's fallen in love with the manager, Jane. And then Jesse's trying to set up the new drug empire, get people like Skinny Pete, Badger, and Combo. Those, I don't think I mentioned them in the first season review. They're just kind of Jesse's friends. They're pretty funny too. And he's getting them to just go around to places selling the beautiful blue meth, and it's working out. But then Skinny Pete gets mugged, so Jesse has to try to deal with that. He breaks into a creepy-ass crack house where 2 crackheads or whatever are living. Their kid's there all by himself, so he's kind of just watching that kid waiting for him to show up. He tries to, like, take... Stupid fly. This is going to turn into that season 3 episode with the fly. Great. Things go bad. One of them ends up getting their head crushed by an ATM. Jesse takes the money out of the ATM and gets it back. And then Jesse kind of used that as a gangland myth where Jesse, don't mess with Jesse, you might not look it, but he killed a guy with an ATM, crushed his head, so he's starting to use that. But then things just get worse. Walt's just piling lies upon lies. He's drowning in it. He can't keep his lies straight. Also, Badger, at the beginning of the season, is trying to sell drugs on a little bench, and then he gets arrested. Walt and Jesse need to bring in a lawyer. Better call Saul, a character I thought was going to be just annoying and stupid. But Saul Goodman, played by Bob Odenkirk, he was awesome. He was really funny, and it adds to this real comedic element. I didn't exactly mention in the first review, although the show, it was really funny in the first season. Season 2 is like, is this a comedy or a drama? Because it's a drama that just happens to be funny all the time. A lot of great characters. Bryan, Cranston, Aaron Paul, their chemistry again. It's just really good. They're fun together. Bob Odenkirk teaming up with them It was hilarious. The episode where they introduced him was hysterical. Walt and Jesse actually go into the middle of the desert in the RV to just cook for like 4 days straight. Then he gets stuck there, all the crazy stuff that happens. You see Walt using his genius intellect to create like a new generator for the RV and everything. That was a great episode. And then Campbell gets killed by a kid because he's crossing the wrong gang territory to sell their meth. And then, God, Jesse spirals out of control. Him and Jane start doing heroin. He's a mess. And then Saul sets Walt up with a meeting with a character named Gus, who they're supposed to meet. Apparently wants to buy their meth for a lot of money, and they want to have a meeting. Jesse's spiraling out of control. Walt has to break into the house to get the meth to Rush. He misses his daughter's birth to sell the meth to Gus's people. And then eventually, Jesse and Jane are a mess. They need to get their act together. Stuff happens. Walt breaks into the house. She starts ODing and choking on her own vomit. He doesn't save her. He watches her die. And that's how Walt thinks he's going to save Jesse, because then Jesse has to freaking smarten up. He just saw like the love of his life. They were going to go off, move, go traveling to places and stuff, and now she died right next to him. So Jesse goes to rehab, and then Walt's got $1.2 million or something in the wall of his house, and he thinks things are going pretty well. But then Skylar just kind of figures out about these lies. She's got Walt. She knows that he's got a second cell phone, so she wants a divorce. She wants him out of the house. And then a character I didn't mention, Jane's father, after Jane dies, he just loses it. He's terribly depressed, and he's a guy that controls like airplanes and ends up causing two of them to collide. And that's the season. My God, it's amazing. That was pretty in-depth, but man, Bryan Cranston as Walter White, my God, just amazing. He's got so much to do here. He's got all these lies to take care of. He's got to deal with Jesse and all his shit. He's got to deal with Gus. He's got all this meth to sell. Jesse, Aaron Paul, oh, he just loses it. He gets crapped on this whole season. I love his arc that he faces. Jane was really good. Bob Odenkirk, like I said, hysterical. All of Jesse's little buddies, Skinny Pete, Combo, and Badger, they're really funny side characters. And Gunn, Skylar, just, my God, the whole season, she's just losing it. She knows Walt's lying to her, and she just can't figure it out. RJ Mitte as Walt Jr., again, always fun. Dean Norris is Hank in this season, really good too. Like I said, the stuff with the El Paso, Texas, that really makes him all unnerved and having panic attacks, that was interesting. Betsy Brandt has his wife, really good. So all that acting, just fantastic. Everyone's great. And Gus, you can tell, Gus, he's going to be important in the next season or two. And I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, he sort of is. The writing in the show, every episode just ends where you're like, I got to see the next one. The writing is consistently better every season. The first one, when I just saw the first season, I was like, this is a great show. And this season, I was like, season one, this is where it's at. This is a great, great show. Fantastic as always. No doubt, Breaking Bad season 2 gets an A+. So if you like the review, you can like, subscribe, comment below, tell me what you thought of season 2. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time when I review season 3.